Hey, 7th grade, if you're not yet finished with Lesson 8 in language, you should not be watching this video. This is Lesson 8 in language. So turn the video off, get done with it, and then you can come back and watch it. So this is the video for Wednesday, April the 22nd. Lesson 9 is due on Friday. Follow direction. It has to do with comma rules. There are lots of rules. There are like 13 rules and commas that you need to pay attention to do the homework. But do all of Lesson 9, including the spelling. Lesson 9, when I say all, I mean do the odds of the lesson and then all of the spelling, please. And remember that we will randomly choose some to grade in Lesson 9. We will have a quiz on Friday. Pay attention to your reading, okay? I haven't mentioned reading hardly all week, so just pay attention to your schedule. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, there's usually reading due, and pay attention if there's any quizzes or anything you have to take. And I'll remind you, I think there's a reading quiz on Friday, yes. So just keep track. Please get your reading done, okay? I know we're not grading it, we're not looking at it except for the tests and quizzes, but please take the time to do that. All right, Lesson 8 in language. Let's grade some. We're going to grade this entire first part, the odds of 1 through 11. And I want you to grade this and keep track of the number wrong. If you want to, on top of your lesson, I have it on the board then too. The ones that we are grading from Lesson 8 are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 17, and 19 are the ones that we're grading. I have it written down so you can make sure you got that. So number 1, you're supposed to underline the nominative case pronoun. Write S or P if they are singular or plural in the blank. And then write whether they are circle whether they are first, second, or third. Okay? Number 1, in the blank you should have singular, S. You should have she underlined. Remember, there are lists of these pronouns. There's a nominative case list on your reference sheet, 6th grade reference sheet. Objective, everything. So please, you have no excuse to underline the wrong one. Absolutely none. This says nominative. So you look at the lists, well, right there they are. They have a list on top of your instructions too. So there's no reason to be underlining the wrong thing here, please. Number 1, S in the blank, she underlined. Third person circled. Talking about someone else, that's third person. If you're saying you, you're talking to someone, you're saying, how are you? That's second person. Any pronoun that includes yourself, we, me, our, is first person. All right. Number 3, P for plural in the blank. We underlined and circle first person. We includes yourself. So we is first person. Number 5, underline the correct pronoun. We, Aunt Julie, and we girls. Grade all of this. Please grade all of this. Okay. I need the number wrong from here, so you should be grading this. Number 7. Same kind of thing as the first part, except with objective case pronouns. Objective case pronouns, any objects can be replaced by objective case pronouns. Indirect, direct objects, objects with prepositions. Number 7 is P for plural. Us underlined, first person circled. Number 9, S singular in the blank. Her underlined, third person circled. Number 11, for Christmas, Daddy and Mother gave each of us boys toolboxes. 11 is us. All right, so let's go to 17 and 19. Number 17 of Lesson 8, you're supposed to put brackets around the dependent clause and write whether it is an adjective or an adverb, and that depends basically entirely on whether or not it is introduced by a relative pronoun or subordinated conjunction. Adjective clauses are introduced with relative pronouns. So number 17 In brackets, the dependent clause is who accompanied the first shipload of convicts to Australia. And that is an adjective. You should have adjective in the blank. If the brackets are at the wrong place, one wrong. If you have adverb instead of adjective, another one wrong. So 17 is adjective, and the dependent clause is that entire who accompanied the first shipload of convicts to Australia. Number 19, in brackets, before Europeans came. Before Europeans came, in brackets, and that is an adverb clause introduced by the subordinating conjunction before. All right, that is all that I need graded. Just for interest's sake, check over number 23. See how well you did on 23. I'm not going to give you the answers, but I will tell you that there are 17 adjectives and 3 adverbs. 17 adjectives and 3 adverbs. See if you can underline 17 adjectives. Make sure they're adjectives. Remember that a, and the are adjectives. There's a bunch of them in there. But yeah, check out the adjectives and adverbs. 17 adjectives, 3 adverbs in number 23. All right, I have the diagram, what the diagram should look like. I want to talk a little bit about number 21. This does not need to, you don't need to count the number wrong for your grade, but check it out. See how well you did. See how poorly you did, right? Just check it out. See how you did. Here are the numbers from lesson 8 that we need graded, okay? So write those numbers, put the number wrong for those on the top of lesson 8 or something where you can easily find it when I remind you at the end of the week of the number wrong to put on the quiz. Here's your diagram. One of the things that you need to watch is that some subordinating conjunctions can be used as prepositions, all right? So how do we know if the word after is in a subordinating, in a clause, or if that's just a prepositional phrase? All right? What's the difference between phrases and clauses? And you need to look out for this because this has happened before to you, where you had a word like after, and you were like, oh, yes, after is a subordinating conjunction, introduces a dependent clause, and you're right, okay? They do. But make sure that it's actually a clause. Remember that a clause needs a subject and a verb. A phrase does not have a subject and a verb. So look at this one, because when I was first doing this, I looked at the after and I was like, oh, yeah, dependent clause, adverb clause, right? However, after the Revolutionary War, is there a subject and a verb? After the Revolutionary War? No. Okay? There's nothing happening within this phrase. So there's no verb in here. So that is simply a prepositional phrase saying when they chose after the Revolutionary War. If you have revolutionary as an adjective, that's about half okay, but you should start recognizing these compound nouns, that should be on the same line. Civil War, Revolutionary War, that should all be one, okay? This is a compound sentence. This is a compound sentence. It is not that after the Revolutionary War is not a dependent clause because it does not have a verb. So, England chose Australia. England chose Australia after the Revolutionary War for relocating. How many of you got the gerund phrase? For relocating convicts. One of the things on either a test or a quiz, if a gerund has a prepositional phrase with it, diagram the prepositional phrase off of the gerund, not off of this line. Okay, I know it's very technical, but I think I counted that wrong. Okay, you have a gerund phrase. Here you have a direct object. But if you have a prepositional phrase with a gerund, connect it to the gerund line, not to this line down here, okay? So yeah, some of you I think got wrong because of that. I apologize, but make sure you have all that connected. If there's a gerund, all the stuff that goes with it needs to be directly connected to the gerund. Okay, so here we have 4 relocating direct object convicts. So make sure, those are things that I forget. The gerunds and the participles, I have a hard time remembering. I'm still seeing diagrams as I go through my book that last year that I have, diagrammed as just an adjective instead of a participle, especially with the participles. All right? Your semicolon is an indicator of a compound sentence. So you have your connector, your semicolon on the dot here, and then you have your second independent clause, your second part of the compound sentence. Free men settled. Free men soon settled there. There is also an adverb. Okay? Where did they settle? When did they settle? Soon there settled. Okay? So that is the diagram. You do not have to count your number wrong toward the grade, but that is what your diagram should have looked like for number 21. These are the ones that we want to grade for. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 17, and 19. Count the ones wrong for those. So long, farewell. Oh, whoops, sorry.